Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another FIFA 18 career mode video. We're going to do back-to-back days for the manager career mode here. Continuing off from yesterday, I wanted to show you guys the table and show you where we're at in terms of goals and assists. So Miggy and Martinez are both doing really well. Obviously, Martinez on 14, Miggy with 12, and then all three of our starting top three players are going to also be in the top 4 assists. So a lot of chances here to win a lot of different challenges here at the beginning or the end of the season. We should be fighting for top goal and top assist. We also have like a 20 some odd goal difference right now, and we're just looking to increase that every single game. But here we are going to go up against NYCFC for the second time this season. The other time that we played them was only last episode or the episode before. So another opportunity here to pick up some more points against an Eastern Conference opponent. Hopefully we can put in a good performance here and continue our way up the table. Still in second place behind Toronto, but getting ever so closer to increasing or decreasing that point lead and getting our way up the table. So here early on in the game, here in the 5th minute actually, we managed to concede a goal early on. Very good passing. We did end up conceding early on against NYCFC the first time, so it was a little bit of a shame to concede again early on in this game as well. But Rodney Wallace able to get them a first goal, but only 7 minutes later we're able to get that ball out to Tito Villalba, and he manages to get us the equalizer in the 13th minute. So definitely able to quickly get back into the game, which we did show last episode is entirely possible when we do go down early. We managed to get that goal early on as well and bring us back to level terms. So at the end of the day, when we do concede, we manage to usually bring it back to an even pegging and manage to get that goal difference back to 0 basically and start the game over. Here though, in the 40th minute, we managed to concede one more time, this time to David Villa, who manages to just get himself in a really good position on the left side of the box, and I just overcommitted to a couple tackles and pulled a few players out of position, and Carmona allowed that pass in for David Villa. Here in the 45th minute, we're going into the second half, just trying to fight them off a little bit longer to try to only go down 1-2 in the second half to try to bring back this game. Hopefully a little bit, but we weren't able to really get anything going. We managed here right before the end of the half to get one more opportunity, but I can't get that pass with Tito out of his feet, and they managed to get the ball back. So again, it was a little bit of a letdown to go into the second half down a goal, but we were looking forward and hoping that we could manage to bring the game back. We're on really good form right now. Obviously Miggy and Martinez scoring goals for fun. We're just kind of hoping that we can keep that going, but here in the second half, David Villa is able to grab another goal in the 73rd minute. You're going to see at the bottom I'm switching Yamil Assad for Julian Gressel, trying to get another opportunity there. Hopefully Gressel can kind of put in some work here in the second half, the last 20 minutes of the game. But here in the 90th minute, we really couldn't get much going in the second half, but NYCFC did have a lot of opportunities, and here one more time David Villa and Rodney Wallace are going to link up. I don't know what happened there with Michael Parkhurst, but I ended up running right past Rodney Wallace and letting him in on goal on Guzan, who wasn't able to come up with a save. So we end up losing this game 4-1, which does hurt our goal difference a little bit, but again, we're still plus 20. We're still in a good position to still take over Toronto if we can continue winning games. So we're going to hope for the best and just kind of go into the next game and just try to shake this one off. NYCFC, obviously a very good team, but we're still doing really well. Miggy obviously 80 rated at this point, and Martinez 79 rated. After this episode, I did start looking at some of the contracts for players, and I did realize that, if you guys do remember, I did upload a video about the contracts and buyout clauses for Atlanta United. It does look like it randomizes the buyout clauses for certain players. In this career mode, I actually do not have Kenwin Jones on a buyout clause, which I was expecting to have on him. I also did not have one on a few other players that I believe I did in the other video. So I will show you guys in the next video what the buyout clauses look like, and then also I'm trying to re-sign a lot of those players to get rid of their buyout clauses. Here, though, in the game against Vancouver, we managed to grab a semi-early goal here in the 26th minute to take the lead. Miguel Almiron is able to grab himself another goal, getting closer to Josef Martinez's top mark tally. And we managed to go 1-0 up against Vancouver. So starting early, definitely wanted to get back into this game after losing to NYCFC. Vancouver is definitely a team that we should beat, and I am pretty comfortable playing against. So this was definitely a good game to play right after that NYCFC loss. That game was really the first one where I felt like I couldn't score and the offense just wasn't working for me. So this was definitely a game where I wanted to get back into and feel a little bit more comfortable. Here I got a little bit lucky. I ended up shooting the ball straight at the keeper with Miguel Almiron, but it manages to bounce off of the keeper and into the back of the net. Sadly, right after that, my controller ended up dying. Thankfully, it didn't die while I was on goal. That would have been very awkward if the ball ended up just going right past Miguel Almiron if my controller had died. So it was good that it ended up dying after I scored the goal. But we managed to take the 2-0 lead there. Miguel Almiron obviously getting his second goal of the game, and I believe that puts him tied with Josef Martinez on goals. And it's going to kind of stay like that. They're going to be neck and neck for the entire season, it looks like, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see how that breaks down. I believe no other player has broken 10 goals yet for the season, so it's definitely going to be a very close race between two players, luckily both players being on my team. So I did see a comment on the last video saying that it would be more realistic if I stuck out with the players that I have. So the reason I am not going to be sticking with the original team for the entire season is, one, I do kind of want to sell on some certain players, but two, because the actual MLS season is almost over and they're about to go into playoffs, by continuing out this series, it didn't feel like I'm actually going to get to the playoffs before the actual league does. So there's really not much of a prediction or interest in me continuing with the same team for this season. I'm just kind of playing it as if it were next season. So we are going to make some transfers after this game. You're going to see certain players that I actually end up moving around. Here Miguel Almiron actually grabs his third goal for the hat trick, and he scores that in the 82nd minute. So we take the 3-0 lead and sure up the game. And this was a perfect away win again. After losing that game to NYCFC, it was perfect to go on the road and grab 3 points. So very strong showing from Miguel Almiron here, who's actually going to get one more opportunity in this game. That puts him on 15 goals, which does put him 1 goal ahead of Josef Martinez, who was playing very unselfish this game and getting a ton of assists to Miguel Almiron. So it's definitely nice that those two players are able to bounce the ball off of each other so often that they manage to either get the assist or the goal. But Miguel Almiron does get 3 goals from 4 shots, and we do end up winning the game 3-0. So now that this game is coming to a close, you're going to see that I am going to try to make some signings, and the first one is very interesting. I end up going after a very young player, young center back. Again, I wasn't entirely sure what players I wanted to sign until I ended up losing a player, but I do want to go ahead and try to get a better defense in. So we're going to go after Walker Zimmerman, and you're going to see here I'm kind of just trying to decide what players I really wanted to sign. I was kind of deciding maybe I should go ahead and just try to get Palmer Brown, but I do want to get a player that is strong enough to come into the defense and start immediately, because although I am scoring a lot of goals, I am still conceding a decent amount of goals to very good teams, and I think we need to go ahead and try to replace Michael Parkhurst, who is already declining in ratings. So we're going to try to talk to Walker Zimmerman here. It did say that FC Dallas did not want to sell the player at all. They had zero interest in selling the player because he is a star for the team, but because Walker Zimmerman is near the end of his contract, we can sign him on contract expiry. So we go straight in and try to talk to Walker Zimmerman into signing. I ended up giving him a $500,000 signing bonus because I'm so used to playing with bigger teams that I didn't realize how much money that actually was. In hindsight, I probably could have offered like 150 and still been probably a little bit too much money. So we end up giving him a lot more money than we needed to, but we do have the transfer budget to do so because of the preseason tournament, so I didn't feel too bad about it. We managed to get that contract sorted immediately. Here we're going to go in after Emmanuel Boateng, player for LA Galaxy. Yes, he is an international player, but he is also a full US citizen, which does mean that we can sign him without losing any of our international players. Again, if we do end up losing an international player, I will go ahead and bring in another one, but until then we're not going to make that signing. So, and if we do end up losing Yamil Assad or Anton Walks, then we will end up looking for replacements for them. But I did want to go ahead and try to bring in Emmanuel Boateng for the second half of the season, because I do want a little bit of a pace advantage there whenever Yamil does come out of the game. He has 72 rated, so he will start over Emma Boateng most of the time, but to have a player with a 92 pace that comes off the bench in the second half of games will be absolutely perfect for us, so I want to try to get him in. Now we're going to head into the third game of the episode against Chicago Fire. This is a game that obviously has been pretty close in results in real life, so I wanted to kind of try to push the issue and get as many goals as we could, again on the road to Chicago. So we managed to get a goal pretty early on here in the seventh minute. Josef Martinez gets the ball near midfield and just runs it straight up and gets a beautiful little pass out to the wing for Yamil Assad to grab his 6th goal of the season. So that actually puts Yamil, I believe, in the top 10 for goals as well. He definitely won't reach the same mark as Miguel Almiron and Josef Martinez, but it is nice to see that everybody is scoring. Here in the 45th minute, right before the end of the first half, we did get an opportunity, but I just kind of tried to cross the ball over to Tito to try to see if he could win that header just out of curiosity. He wasn't able to, so we do end up going into the second half with a 2-0 lead. So we're going to keep on moving. If you do wonder why I cut out that second goal, you will see why soon. Here in the 60th minute, we managed to get the ball to Yamil Assad, who just works his way into the box nicely, just kind of waiting, looking for the pass. I get it out to Miguel Almiron, who manages to get it to Martinez, who has kind of switched positions with Tito. He gets that ball on his left foot and smashes it past the keeper into the side netting. So right there in the 62nd minute of the game, we're able to grab the 3rd goal and sure up the victory basically for this game, bar any catastrophe where I end up conceding 3 goals in 30 minutes. We looked pretty good to get another 3 points on the road, so definitely a good result here already, but we managed to kind of just keep the pressure on Chicago. I don't believe I was on attacking, I think I was still on default, but we were pushing the issue. They managed to get a nice little pass out there to Akam, which Anton Walks was getting a little tired at this point, so he did allow that run past him. But we managed to just get the ball back and work it out to Assad on the wing, who works very well with Josef Martinez here with a little bit of pace to play the 1-2 with him. And then we get the ball into Miggy, who passes it beautifully into Martinez, and he does this little chip over the keeper. You'll see it in the replay one more time. This is very similar to some of the goals that Josef Martinez and Miguel Almiron have scored in real life. But he manages to chip the ball right over the keeper and have an open shot on the open net. So as you see, he just touches it perfectly right there in front of the keeper. It was an absolutely beautiful goal. I was amazed whenever I had the opportunity to score that. So hopefully you guys did enjoy that goal. And it was an absolute beauty, and I'm so excited to continue to play with these players. Obviously, I'm telling you, this is the most excited I've been with a FIFA, and this is definitely the most fun I've had with a team, no matter what kind of super team I've been able to put together. But as you see here in the 75th minute, we actually managed to grab the 5th goal of the game. And go 5-0 up against Chicago. So another goal in short succession. It's only been 15 minutes and we managed to grab 3 goals in that time frame. So definitely trying to score as many goals as we can against Chicago. Like I said, I did want to kind of prove a point in this game. I do really enjoy this celebration with Miguel Almiron, by the way, but I may end up switching it up a little bit. But that does put him on 16 goals, and I believe Josef Martinez at this point is also on 16. And we will have more opportunities in this game. So this was definitely a chaotic game, a chaotic second half. Josef Martinez already on the hat trick, Miguel Almiron with a goal, and then Assad as well with the goal. Here I had actually been looking at something on my phone, so I wasn't ready for the kickoff, and then Assad ended up getting the ball, and we just kind of passed the ball very patiently, and Miguel Almiron's able to get that into the back of the net. So even though we were only at 48% possession at this point, we managed to grab 6 goals in this game and go 6-0 up. So I thought this was another perfect opportunity to try to go for that MLS scoring record and try to grab another goal. But there's not much time left in this game, so I wasn't entirely sure how much more I could get. And then here going into the second half, I was kind of just playing a little bit more on the back foot for the last 15 minutes. And they actually managed to grab a goal. Again, I wasn't really focused that much at this point in the game. I was kind of half asleep playing this, a little bit bored after a 6-0 win, it looked like. So I ended up conceding the goal, went down, and they managed to grab a goal back and make it 6-1. So a little disappointing that I couldn't get the clean sheet out of that. I believe that's the only category we're not winning in. Brad Guzan currently has 4 clean sheets in the season, and the top of the league has 7. So we're going to try to get Brad some more clean sheets here once we get Walker Zimmerman in. And then also I'm going to try to sign Palmer Brown here for the second half of the season probably, since we are only going to be able to get Zimmerman next at the start of next season. So if you guys do have any other players you would like to see me sign for this window, let me know. Again, international players I won't be able to sign until I sell one, which really I'm not looking to sign or sell many of them. But if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comment section below. Other than that, that is going to be the end of this episode. If you did enjoy, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, I will see you guys later.